Hello everyone, this is Marta. Welcome back. Today I have a truly spectacular wowzer card for you. So if you're looking for any special creation for special occasion, this one will be for you. There's quite a few scoring to start from, but I will put all the measurement down below in the description area, and I will have them in centimeter and in inches as well. If you're working with the inch measurement, and this is a regular A4 size card, you will score it at 2 and 7/8, 3 and 1/8, 5 and 5/8, 6, 8.5, and 8 3/4 of inches. And for the centimeters, that will be 7.5, 8, 14.5, 15.5, 22, 22.5. But as I've mentioned, everything will be written down below. The whole purpose is to create this beautiful seagull effect card. I'm sorry I cannot mention the originator because I forgot the lady who was presenting the card for the very first time. If I'll find it back on the YouTube, I will link the video to the original card. But this is a gorgeous kind of like a seagull gatefold card, if I could say, and this is just looking beautiful. The next step will be to cut a piece of the cardstock, and this one will be 5.25 by 8.25 size. What I'm doing here, I have this very beautiful lacy die from Creative Expression, and this is one of those like end border die, which has three different sections. There's this middle part which cut this tiny lacy apertures, and then there is the cutting edges for both ends. I'm not gonna use the full cutting edge, only the inside part, because I thought it will be a nice decoration for this front panel. So what you can see here, I've marked 4 dots to create this kind of a diamond shape, just so it's gonna be like visually equal on each end. And now I am just adding this little die, and you can see this beautiful pattern. Then I've decided it will be a good idea to actually back it up with the cream color paper, just so it's gonna be more visible. This opening will be more visible because underneath there was also the purple paper from the card base. So this way, having this extra layer, it will allow it to pop. Here I'm using one of my forever favorite dies from the Christina Griffiths collection, Card Making Magic. I'm not sure if this one is still available. However, if you don't have the die like that, you can either cut a big circle and cut it in half, or oval shape. For the oval, I would recommend it to have it two shapes, and then score it in the middle, and then score 1 centimeter above the middle portion and create a little flap. You can decorate it with the lacy dies or use the embossing folder to add it a special additional texture. As I've mentioned, you're not necessarily need to have all the same dies and products. I am using, usually as a crafters, look around in your craft room, you're probably gonna find something similar, something what you can use and create something beautiful without, breaking the bank. So I encourage you to have a look whatever you have in your own supplies in the first place. Here you can see how this card is gonna be open up, and once it's open, it's gonna be looking similar to kind of a seagull wings. So this is where the name, the lady who was making the card for the first time, she took the name from. What she was creating is I believe that was like a 6 by 6 inches size card, but I like bigger form. Whoever watched me for a while, you do know that I love creating bigger cards, so I'm always trying to resize something for a bigger size, so I could put all the decoration and embellishments I have. What I did here, I've created a couple of the panels just so I could nicely dress up my card. I cannot remember the measurement of these ones, but if you go with the pencil and mark yourself, like, you know, dots where to cut, that will be the best idea. I trying to not always follow the measurement guides because I've learned the hard way that if you score slightly different space and you will cut paper to the, you know, exact measurement, it's not always working the best. Having this pencil method, it never failed me. Plus, I don't have to be worried about the specific measurements. I can just, you know, put a piece of the paper, mark where to cut, and I'm ready to go. So here you can see the seagull wings, and this little panel we did that will go on the inside portion. I also find additional dye. I don't know where do I have it from. It's very old one, and I'm gonna cut it because it will fit exactly in this oval shape area, and that will be just a great addition to you know, dress up the card even more. I'm going for a very lacy, very you know, feminine look. This is gonna be a birthday card I'm creating, and this was actually the part of my inspirational videos for the design team I work with. So I've tried to create something super special, and here you can see how beautiful this lacy pattern looks like. What you can do if you don't have anything fancy, you can also grab a piece of the lacy trim and then just dress up the oval shape wings, and that will be looking lovely as well. You can just do that like a fold pattern of the lace and just go around the edge and just add it on, and that will be looking beautiful as well. There's so many different things you can do, and this card is very elegant. It's very quick make as well. It didn't take me as much time, so that was a fun one and I really enjoy it. I'm also dressing up the backside as well, because for every time I'm creating kind of a more luxurious card, I'm going for something more special. I like my card to be visibly pleasing from each side, so if someone is looking from the back, that will be looking nice as well, and everything will be, you know, finished to the high standard. Additional thing with dressing up card on the back side, it also provides you extra stability, so the card become more stiffer and a thing is just standing up nicely. But it all depends. If you're planning to send your card and you worry about the weight of the card itself, you can just skip that step. I just think it's looking nice. Plus this dress up finish that will be visible through those lacy ovals, so I wanted to have it nicely done you know, when the card is folded as well. And here you can see I'm just gonna be adding this extra layer to the inside. But before I'm gonna do, I was looking on this panel and I thought like, this is a little bit too much purple for me. I want to brighten it up, so I've decided to cut those corners with the matching dye. And here you can see a tip how you can do it easily. I am just holding the dye with my two fingers and I'm just sliding the layer paper underneath, and this way I don't have to try to measure it how much where to cut. It's very easy, and I think it's way faster way than just, you know, trying to cut it to the specific size. You just hold it and then you kind of slide paper underneath until you're happy with the with where to cut. And I've marked myself, as you can see, 1 2 3 4 with the pencil, and I also mark each corner on the back side, so this way I don't have to puzzle them back and remember which one was where. And it's not really a much thing here because they all looking similar, but I do it because it saves up time and save up trouble, because if you glue one in wrong place and then the other one, it's not gonna be matching the corner, you're just gonna, you know, waste your time trying to fix it. So it's just something I'm doing almost like a on autopilot, I would say. Once you glue this panel, make sure you press it really firmly with your scoring tool or something, just so you make sure that the glue is catching up really well. And here you can see that a seagull, it start looking like. Now I'm gonna be dressing up the card a little bit more, and here you can see you can put it in two different ways. You can either fold the wings behind, or you can just leave them widely spreaded. Both way, it's just looking gorgeous. I have those little images, and they are coming from the digital collection for the art story papers from the Polish designer Karolina Bińkowska. But if you don't have anything like that, you can always use those little hanky-dory books. I'm sure if you're crafting for a while, you probably have a little collection of these. I have plenty of those, and they usually repeat the same pattern like 3 or 4 times. So these will be just perfect for this decoupaging effect. To make my card even better, like make it look more luxurious, I've decided to reach for a kind of forgotten technique of mine. This was usually my way to go to enhance the focal point. Before I had lots of dies, lots of different things to add on a card. I really enjoyed creating those three-dimensional frame, and I like to create them by gluing 2 or 3 circles or oval, or even square frames. That could be anything you have. You create a frame, then you add a little bit of the cushioning. That could be a piece of felt, piece of any fabric. I'm using this like a jacket filling, which I've bought in a sewing store ages ago. And then once I have this extra cushioning, I am just wrapping my ribbon around the frame, trying to put it nice tight way, just until it's whole wrap. It doesn't take much time, and I think it's just something which really enhanced the focal point. Once you look at it, it's remind this beautiful like a old fashioned frame. And then I am attaching it to the back, to the front of this picture. And once I will have it ready, I will then use this decoupage technique, when you use the either foam or little like a double-sided adhesive squares, and then you just add one layer on top of another, and each time you just cut the more detail of the focal point you want to use. So here I have this beautiful teacup in the company of this purplish flower, and I think it's just looking amazing. Once you look on it, the picture is multi-dimensional, and it's just absolutely something I love. I also create a couple extra frames from the one of the lacy oval dies, which I also found in my collection, and then I'm just adding it from the top and the bottom, and then I will put the other one diagonally, just so I could have this nice finish and something extra to go around from behind of the card. And you can see here how beautiful all these dies are looking. Everything is just coming to pair together, even though that's different companies. Some of the dies are from Creative Expression, some of them are from Card Making Magics, but they all have this elegant look, so they will be looking lovely. I also have this alphabet letter, and I'm gonna be putting the sentiment quote in Polish, which is 100 lat. It's something we say for like a happy birthday. In exact transition, it means 100 years. So whoever is having a birthday, we just wish them to live upon the 100 years. So this is what I'm putting here, but you could put a name, you could put like if it's like a wedding card, you could put both names, or something else, like save the day, like date of the wedding or anniversary. That area, it give you a lot of possibilities. Or if you don't want it, you can leave it blank. That will be looking really nice too. So here I cut this letter. They are also from Card Making Magic, and I've backed them up with the I've cut them from the purple design, and then I backed them with a little bit pinkish color paper, just so they could stand out a little bit better. And as you can see here, everything's looking beautiful. For the card like that, I'm gonna be creating a magnetic belly band. The trouble I have whenever you have this like a gatefold opening and you do have some lacy design is that once you're gonna be taking in and out the belly band, you can, destroy a piece of this lacy pattern. You could always back this lace with the piece of the regular cardstock and then just glue it straight to the card, but I want to do magnetic opening so the card will be, opening up nice way. So what I'm gonna do, I've cut myself a string piece of the paper. The strip is around like 2.5 maybe 3 inches wide, probably 2.5, something like that. And then I'm just wrapping it around the card. For this, you never follow the measurements, because if your card will be slightly thicker or thinner, the belly band could be loose or more tight than you actually need. So the best way to do belly band for your card is that finish dressing up your card, put all the embellishment, whether it's some pearls, some ribbons, whatever you want to do, and then create the belly band as the last part of your creation. So that way you make sure that your belly band is actually fitting perfectly to your card, because even if I'll give you a measurement and you have a little bit thinner or thicker double-sided foam tape, that will just make a difference and your belly band could be too loose. So now, to make sure my belly band is closing up nicely, I'm gonna be adding those magnets. The best tip here is to check whether your magnets are strong enough before you're gonna adhere them. Here I'm putting the double piece of the card. This is what's gonna be my layers between the magnets. So I'm making sure that these are strong enough, and in case they are too loose, you can use 2 or 3 magnets. Make sure you're gonna have enough strength to hold up your belly band together. So this is how it's gonna be. I'm gonna have this little circle, and I've decided I'm gonna put 2 magnets instead of one, just so it's gonna be closing up nicely. I'm gonna make sure it's not gonna come off. I'm adding 2. I'm using just a liquid glue just to adhere the first 2 magnets, and then I will cover them up with this oval shape of the cardstock which I've prepared myself up front. And here I'm adding the piece of the glue, but I'm adding it just on the belly band itself, just so I have it exactly in the area where I need it. And I'm adding this oval shape, making sure it's just hold up nicely. Then before I'm gonna add the magnets to the other part, this is what I like to do. I'm making sure I have them in the right spot. And the best way to add the magnets is you adhere them to where they're supposed to be as they glue, so they are magnetically connected, and then you put a piece of the red tape on top of the magnet. And I have this adhesive on, I am exposing it, and then I am adding the piece which will go up front. This way I have them positioned in exact way I want them to be. There's no second guessing, there's no trying to be even. You just connecting the magnet first, you add the red tape on top of it, and then you press the other bits where you want to have the other 2 magnets to be positioned. Now I'm adding the adhesive to the other side, and I'm connecting the other side with the glue. So this way, whenever I open up and close my magnets, they are just connecting perfectly each time. So you can see I can test it, and it's just working really well. And now the last part I want to do is just to dress up this card a little bit. I have this circle of the extra extra design paper which I cut in this oval shape, and I'm just gonna adhere them. Anything which will go in between the magnets, I print the papers on a thinner cardstock, just so I'm not gonna add too much barrier in between the magnets. And you can do that by adding the lightweight paper, or make sure you put the strong magnets, so they're gonna be holding up even if you have two layers of the paper. So here I'm just making sure I have this belly band dressed nice way in each area, whether it's open or closed, and then I'm just gonna be creating some floral composition to go on the front of this panel. I have a couple of these hydrangea dies, and these are coming from the apple blossom collection. I'm also not sure if it's available because these dies are quite old, so they may be out, but you can use whatever floral dies you have, or maybe if you have this ready-made flowers or something. I'm using the paper flowers because this card will go through the mail, so I want keep it relatively flat. Even though it's quite dimensional, I can still stack it in the envelope. But if you don't have the need to post the card and you can give it by hand, you can go even more dimensional and add some foam flowers or any other type of the embellishment you would like. But I do like, if I'm posting, I do prefer either use the paper flower, which are more resistant. I would say they usually hold up nice way in the envelope, or if I'm adding the foam tape, I usually use the greeting box for my creation, because the envelope could flat them out, and foam flowers, they are very delicate, so they're not gonna be looking as nice if they're gonna be compressed. And here you can see how the card it's turned out. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Let me know what you think, and if you would like to create card like that, there is the link of the Facebook group for called Drop of Inspiration, where you can post your creation based on my tutorials. And thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you shortly. Have a wonderful day, and bye bye.